and welcome back to Just Anime Club. I'm your president, Fabe, and today I'm here with... Naja? Huck? Where are these guys? Well, apparently they are kind of busy with other things right now, so I'll have to do it on my own for today. But I was busy too. Busy watching a crap ton of new anime. So let's get right into what I was watching the last month or two. First of all, I've watched Trigun, which is the one that we announced in the last official club meeting, and I'm not going to talk about it because we are still going to do that, hopefully, in a meeting sometime soon. We didn't set a new date yet for the next club meeting because, as I said, Huck and Naja are kind of busy with other things right now and they don't have the time to watch a lot of anime, so we'll have to wait and see, but I'm sure we'll come back together sometime soon. After that, I watched an anime called Fate Stay Night, and that is because I've heard people talk about Fate Zero a lot before, and that is supposed to be a really good anime, so I thought, hey, okay, let me start with Fate Stay Night. The interesting thing is, Fate Zero, while being produced after Fate Stay Night, is actually the prequel to Fate Stay Night, but I still decided to watch the Stay Night first. And I gotta say, I was a bit disappointed. It was an okay anime, but it was mainly about the battle itself, a little bit of harem style in there. It was okay to watch, but it didn't really blow me out of my socks. After that, I watched Fate Zero, which was indeed a lot better, a lot more character development, a lot more interesting characters, and a lot more stuff going on, a better story altogether, so I enjoyed it a lot more. Still, it didn't quite make it in my top 10 anime of all time, but I did enjoy it. It was basically about different mages that live in the modern world, and they get the opportunity to summon an ancient hero, something like, for example, King Arthur or Hercules or other mythological creatures and heroes like that. And then they battle it out for the Holy Grail. I moved on to an anime that I had on my anime list for a long time, and as always you can find all our anime lists in the description to see what animes we have watched and what kind of scores we've given them before. But this anime is Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso, and while I heard people talk about Your Lie in April as an amazing, incredible anime before, I didn't realize that this was the anime until I was into episode 11. And I really fell in love with this one, guys. I can tell you, I am a huge sucker for these ideal romances, more or less, and I really lost myself into that one. Holy crap. I think I watched it in one night. I didn't get a lot of sleep after that because, holy crap. The most emotional anime that I have ever seen, and this one definitely made it into my top 10. Loved it. If you like a good romance, you definitely want to check out Your Lie in April. In some points it reminded me of Bakuman, but the story took a completely different turn, and it's amazing. I will rewatch it very, very soon. Now that I started watching a kind of serious anime, I decided to go on with Erased, which was one that was recommended to me last year already by Ruben Delight, and it seemed to be a very, very popular anime. It is from last year, so it's rather new, and it's also only available subbed, and it is somewhat of a butterfly effect storyline. It's really good. I really enjoyed it, but after watching Your Lie in April before, it just didn't have the same impact at me, so while it was well made and very interesting, it didn't quite get me intrigued as much. After Raised, I was looking for something which was a little more lighthearted, so I watched an anime called The Daily Life of High School Boys. And that was kind of like a short, clippy, kind of jokey anime. It reminded me a lot of the style of I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying, but it was a different setting, obviously. Instead of in a marriage kind of way, it was like the daily life of an all-boys high school, and it was quite funny in some moments. Some jokes, of course, went over my head simply because of the cultural differences, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. And continuing on the light-hearted anime path, I went over to watch Soul Eater. Soul Eater has been recommended by a lot of you guys, so I thought, hey, let's give it a shot. It's 51 episodes, and it's in dubbed, and it's very, very lighthearted and easy on the mood, as I said, so I could watch it while doing other stuff at the same time. And you notice that it's a lot more aimed at a younger audience, at least for the first half. The last half got a little bit more serious, but still, it is a totally different feel. It's a lot more over the top, and while I really enjoyed it, it's not really my cup of tea, but I can definitely see why a lot of people do like it. I also started somewhere in between watching FLCL. I got only 2 episodes in, and it was a little bit too weird for my taste, but I'll definitely give it another try when I'm more in the mood for that. And I also tried out Space Dandy, which was a little bit over the top at the time for me, so I kind of stopped after the first episode, but also I'll definitely get back into it when I'm more in these kind of over the top, colorful kind of moods. Instead, I started watching an anime that one of my viewers recommended to me, and that is Planetes? Like planets with an extra E. And that was a very intriguing, semi-realistic sci-fi anime. It played around 60 years in the future, when humans are totally immersed into space travel, but only within the Earth, Moon, and maybe Mars a little bit. And it was a really interesting setting of a mundane kind of job in this new industry area. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed the realistic approach on that one. Characters were partially pretty cool, partially a little bit over the top for my taste, but I did really, really enjoy it. So if you like that kind of semi-realistic sci-fi stuff, you should definitely go for it. And the last one that I literally just finished a couple of hours ago is more into the romance department again, and that is Nodame Cantabile, which has actually 3 seasons. Only the first season was dubbed though. However, the main character in the dubbed version of the first season had an incredible voice. I really loved his voice, and I wish I could have watched the second and the third season in dubbed. However, it was still really good in subbed. And as I said, it's more of like a romantic tie with a focus on classical music, which I kind of was already gotten into while watching Your Lie in April. So I thought maybe that's kind of a similar feel, but no, it was a completely different feel than Your Lie in April. It was a lot more lighthearted, a lot more funny, and a lot easier on the mood. So I can also say I really enjoyed it. Once again, didn't make the top of my list, but definitely a recommendation if you like that kind of stuff. So that's all I watched in the last couple of months. If you have any more suggestions for animes that I personally should watch, leave them in the comments. I'm always happy to see you guys' suggestions, and some of them are obviously really good. So I'm having a lot of fun with that, and I have quite a bit of time at my hands, at least for the next coming weeks. As I said, I can't give you the date for the next official Just Anime Club meeting quite yet. It all depends on how much time we find to watch anime and when we'll be able to come together again like that. But I'm pretty positive that it will happen sometime soon, because I feel like we all miss talking about anime. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and if you're new here, subscribe and make sure to follow us on Twitter at Just Anime Club to stay up to date on the next meeting. I'll catch you later.